Hey everyone, welcome to Sir Inc.'s The Experience Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything kink. We only cater to adults 18 and above. So remember, this podcast is not safe for work, or as we like to say, NSF.
Hello, kinky and kink curious folk out there. My name is Sir Inc. And today on this vlogcast, I'm going to talk to you guys about, can a man's man be submissive? And this is a topic that I discussed with a friend of mine, and it is a very hard subject to talk about because when we think about a man's man, we don't think about those kind of men being submissive. But there's a lot of what we would consider assertive men that are definitely submissive to their women. And so I would liken it to, off the top of my head, let's just say like the movie Casino and Robert De Niro's character, right? He plays the guy that runs the casino. He works for the mob. And he's a boss all around in that movie. But when it comes to his wife, Sharon Stone, he was a cold sucker. He was a cold submissive. He was cold, do whatever she wanted him to do. She say jump, he say ha ha, right? And I guess the point of this conversation would be as well is I was struggling having this conversation about someone I know who's like a man's man, but in many ways he is submissive. He is more of a go with the flow, which really means go with whatever she wants to do. And he also is not one that really sets the tone, and he's not one to want to have upfront conversations about certain things. He's going to be kind of avoiding certain pitfalls and things of that nature. So is that really an assertive man all the way through? It's not. It's not at all. And I'm going to discuss some of those reasons why. For starters, assertive men do not mind picking a direction and going in it. They don't mind if the direction goes as planned or it doesn't. They're willing to own up to it. The man that says, well, whatever you want to do, wherever you want to go, when things go awry, he is then able to shift the blame to you. Or he is then forced to clean it up and complain about it. That's what those other kind of guys do. They'll complain about the direction it went, even though they had nothing in on it. And that is tiring for a woman that needs guidance, that needs a man for stability and for guidance and stability. So what happens is these guys normally will pick a woman that is assertive herself and doesn't mind bossing a dude around. The only thing is these guys have a problem sometimes accepting that role, but they need to just claim it. Submissive men aren't as planners as dominant, assertive men are. Dominant, assertive men all the way through. Like, when I say plan, like they'll call a woman up, I'm going to take you out to dinner. Okay, where would you like? Wherever you want to go. Wherever you want to go is fine with me. If you make the plans, I'll pick you up, I'll pay, blah, blah, blah. Nah. Assertive, dominant men all the way through. Look, you want to go out? Yes, okay. I'm going to give you the time I'm going to pick you up, how you should be dressed, what the style of dress would be, whether it's casual or dressed down or black tie or whatever. I'm going to let you know the restaurant we're going to and, maybe send you a link early so you can see the menu. And this is early on before you really know someone, So you're picking where to go, how to dress, and, sending the menu. Now, I'm only saying really send the menu on the first or second date. But once you understand the person, the sub, you'll know how to pick a restaurant. And so after that, it's just, this is what time we're going. This is what time I need you to be ready. I'll be picking you up. I'm picking you up. We're going, boom, boom. An assertive dominant man has all those kind of details laid out all the way through in every aspect of his or her life. Dominant men do not have an issue with explaining their thoughts and their emotions. They're not going to shy away from conversations of what's going on in their mind or where they're going with their life and what that means for everyone in it. Other men, beta males and more submissive men, will take the detour. They're going to detour off of that. They not necessarily want to talk about their feelings. They don't necessarily want to talk about what they're thinking. And this can lead to frustration. I know a lot of you women have dealt with guys like this. They don't really talk. They're not really walking through life with purpose. They're kind of out there. And that can become very frustrating because you want certain answers exactly, especially with what's going on with them and how you fit in their life. And they don't know because they're expecting you to tell them where they fit, where you fit in their life. And that is frustrating to a submissive woman that needs a man for stability and guidance. And please do not get this confused. These men, as I said, it was a struggle when I was having a conversation about a guy I know. They can be considered men's men. You know, these are not guys that look the metrosexual look. These can be construction workers. These can be CEOs of companies, guys that are men, guys that'll punch you in your mouth. You know, if a guy disrespects you or a guy disrespects him, like these are men. But what we're talking about in relationships with women, they're submissive. When it comes to relationships, they believe that a woman knows best about the relationship. So they hand their power as far as how the relationship goes over to the woman. And many women that's listening to this right now, you guys know exactly the kind of guys I'm talking about. And it doesn't make them bad guys. None whatsoever. It just makes them submissive to their women. But they can go out here and be goons in the street. They can be top-notch CEOs and top-notch lawyers and doctors. But when it comes to relationships, they believe that the direction of a relationship belongs in the hands of a woman and is whatever you like. And his voice is your voice. Where with assertive dominant men, they are setting the direction and tone all throughout, and they come to the table with things that they want out of the relationship and holds not only the woman's feet to the fire, but their own far as what they agree to, what their responsibilities and duties are to the relationship. And that is a major difference. And lastly, I'm going to say, there is nothing wrong with a man being submissive to a woman. If that's what your thing is, if that's who you are, then do that. There's no shame. Of course, in today's society and the way manhood has been framed for us in the westernized world, those men that are submissive to women are not looked at as men. But that's not true. And we know that. And we just have to speak on that. So we don't shame these kind of guys, because what happens is when we shame these guys, they hide themselves and they try to put themselves in situations that they don't belong in. So if you're the kind of man that is okay with giving your power over to the woman because you believe that she knows best in a relationship, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You should just own that and make sure that you get out of the way. You can't act like you want to be assertive sometimes and not assertive. Either you're going to do it all the way or you're not. So again, there's no shame in it. And I'm making this because a lot of the stereotypes is like, man, you got to be a man's man. And if you're not a man's man, you're not looked at as being a man. Yes, these submissive men, a lot of submissive men are men. Like I said, they can break cement. They can break companies down. Like they're top notch on all levels. But when it just comes to relationships, they don't want to be responsible in relationships, right? And this is what submissive people are in relationships. They do not want to grab the steering wheel. They want someone else to grab the steering wheel and they can be themselves. The difference is it seems to be that female submissives are more compliant than males. And I'm speaking loosely, I can't really confirm that, but it seems like just some of the male submissives that I know, they won't ever claim amongst friends that they're subservient to their women. But from what we see in their behavior and the things that they go through, they very much are. So I'm making this video to say, it's okay, just own it. And no one should shame you for being that way. Because what you eat don't make me poop. So whatever makes you happy and flourish in a relationship, you should do that. I believe as an assertive, dominant man that I'm going to set the tone, because those things, I believe that I am the first and the last line of defense when it comes to what happens in a relationship. And so I'm owning that. I'm standing at the door. I stand in between chaos and civility when it comes to my life. The woman needs to be on the side of civility. I don't need her standing in the doorway of chaos and civility. I take the brunt of that. That's what I believe a man does. Now, if you're the type of man that believes that a woman should stand in that doorway, that's fine too. There are plenty of strong, assertive women, dominant women out here. And if that's for you, there's no shame in that. I just think more men need to own it. And it doesn't make you less of a man if you're submissive to your woman. What do you think? It's your guy, Sir Inc. You know how to find me, Sir INQ, on everything: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can always check out the community, kingspace.net. And please like and subscribe. And please leave me comments. Also, you can email me at sirinq09@gmail.com and let me know if there's something that you want me to touch on or any comments about this video. And I'll be glad to return that email to you or respond to your comments on my channel. Thank you.